Hi, Scorpio. This is Genevieve with Belladonna and Moonbeams. How are y'all doing? I'm doing really well. This is the reading for May 3rd through May 9th, 2021. And I had a great weekend because I became a certified Akashic Records reader. And Akashic Records are basically the book of the soul. And we all have one. And it lists all of our past lives, why we're here, why we're going through things, sometimes the relationships we're having and why we're having them. All of these things play into our Akashic records. And they can really help with healing. I kind of think of it like, if you got lots of little cuts on your skin, it hurts, right? But if you let them heal over, they quit hurting. But the problem is when we have emotional pain, sometimes it just keeps hurting until we figure it out and clean it up and get all that crap out of it. And then the next thing you know, we're healing. And that's amazing. So looking at this reading, just looking out, I'm going to say this is going to be a taxing week for y'all. Definitely taxing. You start out with the moon reversed, which is all about dreams, visions. And because it's reversed, I think you've been hoping for something or dreaming for something, and it's not quite coming along the way you want. And you're getting upset. It's either barking at the moon, and the moon has fluctuations, and it waxes and wanes. But I think that things are just not working out on something that you're not happy with, the way that it's going. And part of that could be just your perception of it. You also get the 10 of Swords, which says that you feel like the world is crapping on you. You feel like you have lost. You feel devastated by something that's going on in your life. But next to that, we get the 7 of Cups. Now turn this over. Sevens are all about fluctuations and changes happening. But you see, it's also got choices. It's like that Let's Make a Deal show. Only you're not making a deal per se. But you got to pick one. There's a head coming out, a snake, flowers. Which cup are you going to pick? Are you going to pick one that's like a snake? Or are you going to pick the flowers or the castle? And so you've got these choices to make about the way things are going. And you're not really happy with your choices, but there are good choices there. But you got to get up off the ground and face them. You also get the 6 of Swords. Turn it over. See, this person is crying and they've got someone with them, but they're leaving the rough waters and moving into smooth waters. And they got someone helping them out that's got their back. They got these swords in front of them to help them. So you're going to make it through this, but it's just really tough right now. And one of the things that is that you've got the King of Swords. And this is some masculine energy that is very strong and austere and emotional. And it could be a literal man, but I honestly think that what this is saying is you need to get in touch with the King energy. You're seeing, as a Scorpio, you see a lot from your emotions. You need to stop being emotional and look at these things. Because as you're looking at them, they'll all come into clarity. You'll have the clarity you need. And you also have the really hard work hard. And so you've been working really hard, but you've been not doing smart work. You haven't been efficient in your work. You've been working extra hard, just spinning your wheels. And you need to stop and evaluate. Because that's part of making this good choice. Now I'm going to pull some cards just from Oracle decks, different ones. So if you want to know which decks I use, send me a private text. But anyway, you get winter solstice reflection. So this goes back to you really need to reflect on this. You need to reflect on what it is you are doing and what your choices are. So take time this week to just sit down and meditate. Ask your spirit guides what you need to get from this lesson and where you need to go from here. You also get the boundaries card. So I think part of this has been that you haven't set boundaries and you haven't respected boundaries. And that might be why you're feeling like overwhelmed, because we need boundaries. It took me a long time to learn that. I have a family member who used to push every boundary I had. And I started setting little boundaries at a time. If you do this, I will do this. And I would say this, not when I was angry. I would think about it, I would plan it, and I would sit down with this person and say, this has really bothered me when this happens. So in the future, this is what's going to happen when you do this. And this person even said, you would do blah, blah, blah. And I said, no. You are choosing that. When I've given you the boundary and you violate it, you made a choice for the action to occur. It's not me, it's you. And that's one of the things about boundaries. When you violate someone's boundaries and they've given them to you, well, you made that choice. And when they violate your boundaries, when you've given them to them, they've made the choice. It's all about choices. And finally, I'm going to pull a card about relationships. This is the Goddess card. What a beautiful, I'm not sure if you can see this card. And it says that you are to honor your divine feminine. That means to go ahead and dream some. Go ahead and have your emotions. Or maybe do what I did tonight. I'm baking an apple for dessert. Just get in touch with that feminine side of you, whatever that is for you. It's going to be different for everybody. Someone gave me some flowers for my birthday. And one of the things that makes me feel feminine is when I'm organizing flowers. So everybody's divine feminine is different. That might just be making an altar to the goddess or reading about a goddess. But it could also be arranging your flowers. Namaste, y'all. If you want to do a private reading, send me a text to 405-512-9400. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel.